All right, everybody. Welcome back to the 406 Budcast. Remember to like, follow, share, subscribe. We'll be back here for you shortly.
Antenna vibes under the big sky. 406 Budcast gonna get you high. Adam, Naki, and Nate bringing the heat. No time to wait. From the mountains to the plains, we're fucking up, breaking chains. Every topic, every strain in this cannabis domain. 406 Budcast, let's celebrate. Rolling up, it's time to celebrate. Adam, Naki, and Nate in Montana, we dominate. From the soul of the villas, we're on the map. Lighting up the scene, ain't no cap. Hip-hop beats in the background as we drop knowledge profound. From CBD to THC, we're breaking down the chemistry in this podcast symphony. Come join our THC family.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tonight we've got Nate, Naki, Daniel, and I up on camera here. We've got Michelle and Adam behind our computers today. Computers. Two socks, of course. What do we got going this evening, guys? Any fun stuff?
So, yeah, we've got obviously the great trivia coming from Tanaki with those wonderful questions. We have the news that we're coming up, strain of the week. And that'll be Gary Payton. Mm-hmm. And then we have the coverage of the 406 Organics rebranding party out at Zoo Drive. In anticipation of that, where the 406 podcast will be live as well, we're going to have a very short show tonight. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be all kinds of great giveaways out there tomorrow, and we can cover those a little bit later in the show.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Right on.
What should we start off with?
Yeah, what do we want to get into?
Hey, we can just pop right into the Strain of the Week segment. For our live viewers, we will just get right into it. Please make sure that y'all are liking, sharing, and subscribing, of course.
Don't forget to follow.
Yep, follow all that fun stuff. But for this week, for Strain of the Week, I suppose we have our video. Let's go ahead and run that.
Down on the blacktop where legends play. Gary Payton's strain makes your worries fade away. Got the spirit of a fighter lighting up the night. From the court to the clouds, it's a champion's flight. Every dribble, every shot has a tale. Got the strength of a warrior that refuses to fail. With the scent of greatness drifting through the air, Gary Payton's got the vibe that only legends dare. Feel the fire hit the rim, once again ignite. Gary Payton high, got you soaring like a kite. Step back, jump, we're taking off into the sky. Inhale the thrill, feel the rush, never die. Beneath the hoop, the pressure feels so right. Gary P's in your lungs, lighting up the fight. Defensive rhythm, steady pulse of the beat. Lockdown vibes, blazing fierce, can't be discreet. Feel the fire hit the rim, once again ignite. Gary Payton high, got you soaring like a kite. Step back, jump, we're taking off into the sky. Inhale the thrill, feel the rush, never die. Beat the hoop, the pressure feels so right. Gary P's in your lungs, lighting up the fight. Defensive rhythm, steady pulse of the beat. Lockdown vibes, blazing fierce, can't be discreet. Feel the fire hit the rim, once again ignite. Gary Payton high, got you soaring like a kite. Step back, jump, we're taking off into the sky. Inhale the thrill, feel the rush, never die. On the streets or in the league, it's all the same. Gary Payton's strain lights up the whole game. From Seattle to the world, everybody knows the name. Crossover vibes, leaving your fears in flame.
Welcome back, everybody. A reminder this evening that all of our content is for educational purposes only. With that in mind, moving forward, this evening we've got Gary Payton as our strain of the week. It's also known as the glove. Gary Payton is, of course, a super famous NBA star. This strain was bred by the name brand Cookies. So I know that a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about the name brand Cookies, and we'd love to hear about them in the chat. Speaking of chat, we've got Mr. Burns, Sandra, Rocky Stone, what's up? Hey, Adam, I see you in the chat popping off. Even though he's sitting in back, so if you guys want some Adam conversation. Good evening for that. Thank you. Sorry. Welcome to the show. What are you guys enjoying this evening? Anyone enjoying some Gary Payton? You know, we had a lot of people vote for it. I'd love to know if anyone has some. With that in mind, we'll move on to the next portion. Effects and experience. Gary Payton is known for delivering a balanced and potent high that can put users in a euphoric state while also grounding them with a sense of relaxation. So it's a hybrid, really, which is awesome. I know a lot of people are looking for that. It's perfect for those looking for a focused yet calming experience with reported benefits for stress relief and mental clarity.
Sounds like that's a strain for me.
Yeah, I was going to say one of those strains that you'd love to smoke kind of in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
I wonder if that has a relation to the strawberry Gary.
I don't know. Yeah, yes. Maybe that's a strawberry cough Gary Payton cross.
Yes, it is. It's not strawberry cough. It was actually something completely different that wasn't strawberry, but I do remember it also back crossing with Gary Payton.
Okay, cool. Hey, David, Jennifer, welcome for watching for the first time tonight. We're happy to have you. That's cool. That's interesting. So Gary Payton is a cross of the Y with Snowman, both strains that I'm not super familiar with, but I would be willing to bet money on are both Cookies favorites. For the aroma and flavor, we have apparently it's quite unique. It's citrus and herbal notes, but dominated by diesel and earthy tones. That really is a kind of a wide spectrum of flavors there.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, the only thing you have left is what? Skunk?
A little bit of berry here somewhere, right?
Yeah, skunk and berry is all that's left. So that's, I bet you the terps are high on that.
Yeah, I would like to definitely check it out. And if somebody has any out there or know where to get it, go ahead and drop it in the chat.
Lean Mountain Organics has got some Gary Payton right now.
Okay.
The dominant terpenes on that strain are going to be the caryophyllene and limonene and pinene.
Pinene. That's a unique one. You don't see that in very many strains these days.
Not as their dominance, for sure.
No. Usually it's a ways down the list on their strain.
It's definitely going to get that peppery feeling with the caryophyllene in there.
Kill your throat.
It's what gives strawberry cough one of its most legendary traits for sure. So that makes sense that they would cross it really.
You mean strawberry Gary?
Yeah, strawberry cough is one of its most legendary traits, so it makes sense they'd cross it with Gary Payton to get to strawberry Gary. Really probably focus in on that caryophyllene flavor. I wonder if it's similar to something like, I don't know if you guys ever had like Slurricane or any of those kind of like spicy or GMO crosses, I would call them.
Yeah. I think we had the Slurricane in a dab format.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know that we had the flower.
I've had the flower before, but yeah, those dabs those dabs were spicy for sure.
That flower was spicy for sure.
Definitely slapped.
Yeah, apparently Gary Payton is not only popular on the West Coast, but it's also winning awards for high quality hash and concentrates. So it's a great producer, very rosinous, and apparently those trichome heads are easy to break off for hash production as well.
So you guys do some pressing, so that might be a really good one to focus on for trying to do pressing and stuff like that.
Absolutely. That could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. You know, one thing that I've never had the pleasure of testing at home yet, just with my trim or whatever, is the dry hash washing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I haven't done any of that yet. So then I think from there, that's when you go ahead and press, and then boom, you got yourself some hash rosin, and that's the best of the best, from what I hear.
Well, we'd look forward to some maybe some video content to that.
Ooh, yeah, everyone loves to see some honey run down the paper. That's for sure.
God, that squish is the best.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll have to tone in that heat a little better.
Yes, for sure. I've been pressing a little bit lately, and I've been burning the presses for sure. They're coming out super dark,
like tar.
You know, they still work, but it just is ugly. You know, it's ugly.
How about out there in the chat? Do you guys prefer the BHO method, or do you prefer the press method?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. Hey, we've got nobody in the chat again. David, it's nice to see you. Active as heck. Yeah, Gary Payton, 6-time All-Star. Dang. Oh, Jennifer, thanks for stopping by again. She prefers press. So nice. Do you? I guess since we've got your attention and a quick responder here, what about pressing do you prefer? specific, if you don't mind.
Sullivan.
For me, it's the flavor.
You feel like you get more flavor?
Oh my gosh, infinitely more.
That's
But it
so
makes your
good.
bong so dirty.
It does.
It does
It
make the
makes
bomb.
me wonder, what does my lungs look like?
Probably pretty bad.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably nice and gooey.
I mean, you're breaking down. You're getting a lot more of those fats, lipids.
Yeah.
Well, you also
the
get that
waxes.
combo stone with it, on a
Mhm.
solventless press. You really get a kind of that cross between a dab stone and the flower stone. While as a BHO, you're just getting more of like that dab stone.
I definitely know what you're talking about. There's a difference between a dab stone and a flower stone,
Mhm.
and for sure, I can see that. Where a rosin might be kind of a healthy mix of both.
Yeah, it looks
Oh.
like Jennifer and David out there both say that it's flavor. David saying it's a mixed flavor and
Potency as well.
potency as well.
I feel that.
Press.
Yummy. I do love me some good press.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Cajun mince.
Yes, that Cajun mince is so good.
It's
I
getting
will
better
say
with
the
age.
only thing I don't like about press is typically you get a very waxy film on your mouth after you take a hit. I just don't like it because it leaves a feeling on my teeth,
Mm.
and that bothers me. It makes me feel like I haven't brushed them.
Like those plant lipids and fats that we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
that come through
Just
in
getting
pressing.
blasted onto your mouth.
So I think a lot more waxes for sure
Mhm.
with your press versus doing through a BHO method, because you're obviously getting that subcooling that happens
Mhm.
in the material that traps a lot of those.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's super interesting. I'd love to see a little. Maybe we can throw together a little clip of like what the inside of a cylinder is looking like or something someday, and really have a strong comparison about what the difference is. What else is different? It's interesting with rosin. There's really only one thing, right? Heat and pressure. But when you're blasting dab, there's a lot of different variables. You were mentioning the sub-freezing temperatures and stuff like that. That's kind of the goal, or one of the goals of blasting that.
Yeah,
How
so
that works.
it depends on what your overall content of what you're trying to make, but for most people it is trying to get to that really sub-zero temperature within the media itself. That way, as you're extracting out your oils, you're extracting more of the purities, leaving a lot of the waxes and the lipids behind because they're too much of in a solid state to be able to get pushed out through the pressure. So there's a lot more involved in it. That's just a really simple
Of course.
overview of it. But and I think when it comes to pressing, a lot of it has to do, and I was talking to a friend of mine, he feels that you can do pretty much anything with a press and with solventless that you can do with BHO. So the one thing that I do find interesting, we had a conversation about the return on that. And obviously there's less return from the press method versus the BHO to the tune of sometimes about 40% less.
Wow.
And so that can be pretty significant. And then somebody else chimed in and they said, hey, you can take all those pucks and send them over to a BHO guy and they can press that other 40% out, or spread that
Blast the
other 40% out for
yeah.
you. And it can be some rock solid stuff at that point that might be highly concentrated. So
Right.
So we got a couple pucks in our freezer at home.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I've noticed that stoners never want to get rid of byproducts. We'll find a use for absolutely every single piece. We're like, no, but you can make tea out of the leaves and you can use the stems to support the next plants. And
let them dry for a few days. You got sticks, buddy.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's true. Like when we use I say Volcano because I can't remember the actual brand name of it, but I mean, same concept, but we keep the decarb most of the time and grind it up. And I mean, sometimes if it's not looking as decarbed as it should have been, like when we first started, I'd bake it a little bit longer, super low temp. Don't worry, guys. And then we'd grind it up and I'd put it in brownies.
Nice.
So, I mean, that flour is still good to use. You're not really wasting it.
A little bit of spaghetti sauce.
Honestly, I just dipped a taco in it one time. It was so good.
I will tell you that butter that you guys put in the coffee, that was on point as well.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I was surprised how good coffee with butter in it is.
Oh my gosh, it's a whole thing.
It's
I
so
can't remember what
good.
it's called.
I want to say it's like a keto coffee or something like that. You put like butter and a sprinkle of salt in it, and then that's your coffee.
It's like the whole process
Coffee
of
and
it is
steak.
called something though. Like
Somewhere
Yeah.
there's some like 80-year-old country lady just laughing at us, like
Yeah.
drinking
Yeah.
coffee with butter in it.
Martha
Oh, yeah.
Stewart, where are you at when you're infused? Didn't Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg do a collab?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay,
a few of them.
next they just need to collab with some coffee, and then you got your butter infused coffee drink. Oh man,
Well, you got to get Morgan Wallen on with that one, man, because he already wrote a song about that coffee. It was 100% up down. Caffeine hit, then the weed hit, and boom.
well, we saw you on the bench over here that week, man. You're just melting into the couch. No, those
It
were
was a great time.
What we need to do next is infused ice cream and have affogato coffees. Coffees.
Folks, we do not pregame at all.
No, I actually didn't today, so
Okay.
that
I
is
have
your
no
problem.
excuse.
That again, this is all for educational purposes.
Truth.
Absolutely.
You can have jumbled words without smoking weed.
All stunts were performed by trained professionals.
Uh,
The supervision of trained professionals.
Did we finally get a budget to get circus monkeys?
I thought that was
Just
me.
carry them.
Dude, there's like midget strippers apparently looking for a venue. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this place is not
Here?
that big, but I don't need. They need. It was coming across Facebook. I sent it to Adam.
I was gonna say,
They
was
were
it you
like-
that sent me that? I was like,
Yeah, it was around Montana. They were like a whole troop of them. They're looking for different places to like hang out and do a dang strip show. I'm just like, man, what in the hell?
Dude,
Wow.
That's good marketing.
I mean, the 406 Organic Zoo Drive, having a big old party, man.
You know,
What's a big old party without a few little midget strippers?
How's it going, Dallas? Well, we've got just a second. I've noticed a
Yeah.
couple more people in the chat. Dallas and another Dallas earlier as well. Hello, both of you.
So sorry,
Christiana.
like mini maidens. We can't call them midgets. It's not appropriate.
That's their.
But
it's
they
their
actually
terminology for
marketed
themselves.
They
so-
marketed that on Facebook. So
Yeah.
also, really quick, Oceana did clarify it's usually ghee that you put in it, which is clarified butter.
Oh.
Oh, my
so
bad.
clarified butter. So we'll have
it's
to
a
get
whole
into the
process.
idea that what's the difference between clarified butter and like some good old fashioned made up churned fresh out of the butter machine butter.
I didn't even know that clarified butter was a thing until I came to Montana and went down to the ribbon shop and got that baseball sirloin, and it was covered in a clarified butter. And I was like, "Yo, what have y'all covered this steak in? It's delicious." Oh, we use clarified butter. I was like, what is that? Pretty much, they just boil off all the fats and
Mhm.
things
Interesting.
like that and leave behind that great savory goodness.
Mhm.
All the butter. Then leave
Yeah,
behind all the butter. Get rid of all the gross parts.
That's not the gross parts. It's
I've
what's
act-
left over for your
I've
milk.
made ghee before.
Mhm.
Just you cook it. Yeah, you literally put a bunch of butter into a big old pan, and as long as that pan heats very nice and even, it just like at the bottom you get this weird little clump that starts forming, and then it just like hardens up at the bottom, and then you strain off all the liquid, and there's your ghee,
Mhm.
Yum.
and it's a
Nice.
very like pale yellow.
sounds like you and Oceana need to have some cooking time together.
Yeah, and then we can get some smoked salmon and then dip it in the ghee.
Why would you
And
eat
eat
it
it.
like that?
Oh,
Man, we're giving out all kinds of munchies out there.
yummy munchies. What do you guys have
Tell
out munching on
everybody's
tonight?
hungry.
Yeah, what are you guys munching on tonight out in the chat?
Oh, I was gonna say the completely wrong thing. Jennifer said in there that she thought ghee was duck fat. I was gonna say that's frog wa, but I think that's duck livers.
Mm,
I want to say frog was duck livers. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's all Greek to me.
I have to look now.
Culinary episode.
Like, folks, we're gonna have to take a 30-minute break to go get some tacos or something. Bye-bye.
You know, and making butter is actually super easy too.
It really is.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
making
get a
butter?
Making
get a
butter.
get a yeah.
Yeah,
You just
like
take
churning it.
yeah.
yeah. So honestly,
Making
if
butter
you have
isn't
like a
hard.
KitchenAid mixer, you're freaking set. You literally have to do nothing.
Yeah.
All you do is pour your milk, whole milk specifically, into a bowl, and you just turn that bitch on medium. If I can walk away for a while, and in a little bit, you'll hear thud thud thud, and you come back and you go, "Oh hey, there's freaking butter in the middle.
Mhm.
And then you take your cheesecloth and you plop it in the middle and you squeeze the hell out of it and you get your buttermilk.
Mm.
And
For some
Crazy.
reason, I jumped back to the one
Damn.
time I got to make butter on an old like farm where they had the old churns and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that was tough, dude. Let me tell you, there's a reason nobody disrespected Granny Smith back in the day. And that's because she was strong.
Yeah, she could slap you. Like,
She'd been
no.
training.
She was the original bitch slap.
Damn.
Looks like Jennifer's having some homemade chicken vegetable soup tonight, guys. And Cassidy does agree. Tacos do sound good. So,
They do.
Greek tacos.
crab legs. Ooh, Oceana just offered. She said she's making crab legs. So,
Sounds good.
Get on. Get
Don't
on.
mess with grandmas. I know, Jen.
Taking a terrible seafood turn tonight, guys.
and
Maybe I'm
terrible.
just biased because I don't like seafood.
What?
This
There's
guy.
so much turf and no need for surf. Like,
Ooh, no.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
There's-
gonna have to cry foul. I'm gonna have to cry lots of foul.
Mhm.
I get
Oh,
it.
good
People love it,
lobster
but-
tail.
I do say I've been craving a good salmon.
Well,
Some lemon,
I'm
some butter.
forbidden from cooking salmon ever again. So,
Oh,
What did you do to the salmon?
I've tried to cook salmon
That
multiple
was the
times.
rarest salmon I have ever eaten in my life.
We've
Got
eaten
some
raw
good sushi.
salmon multiple times.
Like, it's okay. The outside's cooked, the inside's good.
we got the sushi.
Yeah.
yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, do better than me.
That was when we lived in Great Falls, even. That was a long
Yeah, it's
time
been a long
ago.
time. Yeah, I just tried to do like the butter and then have the skin on top so that it like cooks itself from the bottom slowly. But I think I just didn't let it cook it long enough or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you just slapped it on there. Like, okay, we're good.
Like, looks done to me.
The outside's pink.
It's so good.
Yummy.
Nom nom.
That was hilarious.
Ooh, infused pico de gallo, David says. That sounds delicious. Butter on tortillas before you add the mains with some infused pico de gallo.
Oh, bro.
Hell yeah.
I am definitely on point.
Like we need to have like
Community cook-off or something.
We definitely need to maybe talk to the Vibe Marketing and do like a community cook-off kind of deal or
Oh, that would
something.
be so
I mean,
fun.
they did the chili one last year.
Right.
I don't see why just a total random one.
I think we need a
Yeah, with
barbecue
just all
cook-off.
kinds of different foods and cuisines and stuff like that made out of infused like
Big old potluck.
I'm gonna
Dude,
need
I
a bit of a
would be so
wheelbarrow
high.
just because I might eat a lot of food and probably, it's
Need to be wheeled
infused
out.
and might need to be wheelbarrowed out because I'm too round to get through the door.
Wheelchairs must be provided.
I totally think it should be a barbecue cook-off. Honestly, there's so many different great barbecues around the country.
Dallas is down.
Biased once again, everybody knows North Carolina's Eastern barbecue is the true
Both
barbecue.
Dallases are down.
Ooh, both Dallases are down. Well,
Dude, barbecue does sound.
Dallas, get a hold of us. Dallas, get a hold of us.
Are we repeating everything?
We actually, that actually kind of leads me into we are going to be talking. We can kind of give a little bit of a sneak peek, but we're going to be talking to Vibe Marketing next week, right? Or we don't have to give any sneak peeks, but we can
Yeah, we're
mention
definitely
it,
bringing Elizabeth out from Vibe Marketing next week. She'll be our guest, letting us know what's going on out there, all the great fun that they're doing.
Hell
We got
yeah.
a video
Mhm.
queuing up on it here in just a second to promote that their fall crawl.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You know what? Right now is a fantastic time to get into that. Who has more information on the fall crawl? Because I'm not the guy.
So yeah,
Not I.
go ahead, Adam.
Oh no, go for it, man. I know you know more than I do. I was just gonna go off of what I had from the video.
No, spit it out.
October 17th through the 20th, you've got the sneak peek starting off on the 17th, and then it's going to be taken off, and you're going to be looking at the tour, followed by that VIP meet and greet party over at Vibe Entertainment and Marketing, or Marketing and Entertainment. Should be a really good time, but that video is processing, and it's going to cover all the specific dates and times in that, because honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, and folks, what the fall crawl is really about is there's a lot of dispensaries out there. I think over 20 of them now that Elizabeth and Tyson and all those guys over at Vibe Marketing have worked pretty diligently to put together and promote. You have a stamp at each one of those dispensaries. You go to Vibe Marketing, you get your card. You're going to get a stamp from each one of the contributing dispensaries, and then you'll also get some sort of a deal that each one of them are offering as a special for that. And then as Adam was talking about, there's going to be a great celebration at the end. They're at Vibe Marketing on Grand Avenue in Billings, so we'll get to that video.
Leaves are falling down tonight. Vibe energy's got the light. Cannabis crawl is so bright. Let's hit the town, feeling right. Roll it up and pass it around. Grooving through this party town. Every stop is so profound. Laugh and dance, feet on the ground. Roll crawl, it's the vibe we seek. Cannabis and the ladies before crawl. Oh, it's our treat. Join us on this wandering street. Dispensary to dispensary, good vibes in our memory. Clouds of joy, we're meant to be. Feeling free, feeling free. Hits of laughter, drops of fun. Nights of magic never done. Crawl with us until the sun, long after the last run. Crawl, crawl, it's the vibe we seek. Cannabis and the ladies before crawl. Oh, it's our treat. Join us on this wandering street.
I'm sure what the
All right, we're back. Oh. Surprise! Oh man, we've been doing this for 6 months, by the way.
Still get caught off guard. It's fine. Oh, that's funny.
You know, we are actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, but seriously, next episode is episode 24. That is 6 months of episodes, guys. That's
blown by,
special.
man.
Cruising.
We greatly appreciate all those fans out there who have been a part of it from the beginning. I mean, there's plenty of them in there, Dallas, all kinds of people. So thank you guys so much.
Hell yeah.
You
Yeah,
wanna
we're
get
seeing
into
lots
it?
of regulars in our chat, lots of new people all the time. It's so great.
Mhm. Love
But
to see
I
it.
think we should do some stoner trivia now.
Stoner trivia.
Smoking like a rasta, feeling so high. We talk about cannabis and getting fly. Are you smarter than a stoner? Let's find out. Listen up, my friends. I got something to shout. Cannabis knowledge, let it flow through your mind. Getting blazed, smoking loud. We all unwind. Trivia questions, can you keep up the pace? Let's see if you're sharper in this smoky haze.
Welcome back, everybody. Stoner
Yes,
trivia.
You didn't even
Talk
do it.
Monkey.
All right.
Sorry.
He didn't fist bump like he said he was going to. And it's gone.
No fist bumping.
All right. So we're gonna have to do a group consensus answers again, right, tonight?
I remember most of the answers, I want to say.
Cool.
Hey,
All right. Get
So
your sticky
number-
notes ready, people.
Number 1. Which cannabis product type is created by pressing the trichomes off the flower, often using heat and pressure?
I feel like
A?
we were talking about
We were talking about this
we
earlier.
sneak picked this question.
A, keef, B, rosin, C, bubble hash, or D, tinctures. Give y'all a few seconds to get some answers in.
Looks like we
Seeing
got
some B's in the chat. A C from Deborah.
You know, I think this is extremely valuable educational content. When I first started trying to smoke weed medicinally a year ago, trying to figure out what the difference between resin and rosin was took me so long as an outsider to like look it up and figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of explanations out there.
Honestly, I've been smoking for 3 years medicinally, and I only learned the difference between rosin and resin a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, people are still talking about food.
How about some rosin or resin in your food?
But the answer is B, rosin.
Oh, see, when we got Dallas, we were saying resin all day. Where were you a minute ago when we were having the debate, Dallas? I'm just saying. Anyway.
I don't think he was in yet.
No.
Dallas is a master blaster out there, so
Oh my god, did you guys
Oh,
see
no,
the
what's happening
globe
here?
that he did? Was it
I
distillate?
think it was on Instagram or something.
Holy
I thought,
shit,
yeah.
that was hot, dude. That's
Long,
looking
some clean
nice.
stuff these days, my man.
All right,
Cool
so
call
If
today,
you
actually.
if you click on the blue box, does it show the answers? Well, shit. Okay, I guess we're gonna go to the next one. Little
right.
issues with that, I guess.
PowerPoint broken.
Next question. In cannabis culture, what does the term crossfaded refer to? A. Combining different cannabis strains in a single joint. B. Mixing cannabis with alcohol consumption, leading to a compound effect. C. Using both THC and CBD products for a balanced high. Or D. Combining cannabis concentrates with flower in a single smoking session.
Oh, it's stuck this time.
Seeing some bees.
That would be a B.
That's what I always heard it was back in high school. And people would be like, oh, yeah, I can't crossfade or whatever. But I was like, for some reason with me, if I drink alcohol and smoke weed, it completely like negates the weed. I don't get stoned whatsoever. I don't really notice the weed.
You're broken.
sensation.
You're broken. Yeesh, Daniel.
you
It ain't
don't,
supposed to work that way.
you don't have
Bees
the
in
receptor.
chat. Bees in the studio.
The alcohol is just blocking the.
Adam
the
giving the
CB1.
answer away. The answer is B.
I was just saying I heard it back. in the day.
For all we know, it is actually THC and CBD.
That would have been the best answer.
Well, we know according to the blind giveaway that picked Adam's name twice in a row. That,
Right.
I mean, we got to be suspect on him anyway.
Yeah, that's actually a proof of an algorithm right there. So the more you're commenting in the chat, the more likely you are to get pulled up in the random generator.
Hey, folks, remember that because we've got some great giveaways coming up.
Hell yeah.
Onwards and upwards. I think we're skipping 4. Nope.
5.
All
got
right.
4.
So that sounds like this is going to be the last and final question because we messed up. I messed up with my thingy. Didn't check it before I hit send.
It looked good on the computer.
You know,
It did look good on the
PowerPoint
computer.
does all kinds of crap, and we certainly appreciate the stoner trivia.
So final question. What is the key difference between full spectrum cannabis extracts and isolate extracts?
Ooh, nice one.
Damn, I can't read it from this far away though. That's a problem.
Scoot a little closer.
All right. A full spectrum extract contains all cannabinoid terpenes and compounds from the plant, while isolate contains only a single cannabinoid. B, full spectrum extracts contain higher THC content, while isolates have more CBD. C, isolate extracts are only used for edibles, while full spectrum extracts are used for vaping. Or D, full spectrum extracts include synthetic cannabinoids, while isolates are purely natural.
Nature is well known for isolating specific.
Let's chemicals between us. Dang tree frogs, anyway.
Are all of the answers B then?
You know, they were more mixed up, but
The ones that
apparently
were
all the
different.
ones that
All the
We're
ones that
different.
were not B were broken tonight. So, well, this one isn't B anyway.
no, it's not.
You know, I wonder if she might be having a bit of a delay in the chat.
Who's that?
Deborah.
Deborah.
Oh,
Deb
I
Bennett.
am seeing some mixed guessing in the chat though. Some A's, a couple B's. Seeing lots of A's around the studio though, and that is going to be the correct answer.
So, isolates are a single cannabinoid.
Mhm.
Versus full spectrums that cover the whole plant. They're everything that's in it.
Right.
and if you were
all the
wondering, the
cannabinoids,
answers to
terpenes.
2 and 5 were blue.
They were blue squares.
So your resins are going to be more of a full spectrum.
Yeah.
Versus your rosins.
Rosins are full spectrum. Really?
They can be.
It depends on, I suppose, I don't know. I'd love to see more testing.
Sure.
That's the truth.
I'd
And
say an isolate would be more like a distillate.
Distillate is an isolate.
well, yeah,
It's just pure THC.
Well,
Right?
I was thinking of like in the dab world.
I've always been under the impression that an isolate was just a pure crystallized version of a THC or a CBD. It usually looks like a little powdery kind of substance, and yeah, it's just
We have tinctures at the shop that are all CBD, and we have one that's full spectrum and one that's an isolate. So it can be just CBD or CBD THC or
yeah, a lot of the hemp extraction and stuff like that is going to be isolate. They do a lot of isolate extraction on that level. A lot of the carts you're going to see they have a lot of isolate extractions and stuff that are added to those as well. So your terpenes, you can trap those out and isolate those. There's several different positions of the plant that you can pull out individually.
that gets expensive too, man. I've seen somebody hold up like a beaker of pure cannabis terpenes that have been extracted from the plant. They're like, yeah, it's like $80,000 right here. It's like, dude, I would not be just holding that up, swishing it,
pulling in it.
Rolling it around,
whirling
catching
the
a
fucking
whiff.
Ferrari around in the air.
Whoops. Drop it. Explodes everywhere.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a fluoridated soft material with something like that around. Holy smokes.
No kidding. No
Oh,
kidding.
no. Shit, I feel that way with our bongs sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
There is at Ace, I really need to get it. There's the silicone spray. So you can silicone or dip all of your glass if you wanted to. I debated getting that for the bottom of the bong.
You know, I would love to take a look at some of that because I think that could come in really handy.
Yeah, that might
places.
not. That would actually be a really good idea for the bottom of the bongs. Just dip the bottom.
Do some silicone dipping.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun.
Add a little bit extra
Just 'cause-
grip there too.
As a show day, that's the spot I smack against stuff the most.
You could do like
Jennifer says the spray works great and is less messy than the dip.
Ooh, good to know.
Then the what?
Thanks for
Then
the
the
tip.
dip.
Probably got to have the flick of the wrist for the dip, you know, kind of like when you see them dipping the maker's mark down in the wax and flipping it out with a little twist on it, you know.
Mm.
You don't do it just right, it slings the stuff everywhere.
So, Adam, if we don't get a video to that level of production, I mean, I think we have missed the mark as a team.
But the maker's mark,
Yeah. So just, I mean, we'll get, you know, a nasty banging bong and just spray it up, but make it just look absolutely pristine.
Yeah, just shiny. And it reminds me of a meme where it's like, you know, you wouldn't know I won the lottery, but there would be signs. And then it's like, your bong is clean for you.
A
sir."
butler.
Delivering a clean bong.
I'd be leaning more
every
towards
hit.
Hawaiian punch in the water fountain, man.
Your
I'll
mom
clean
used
my
to
own
make
bong if I
some-
can have a Hawaiian punch water fountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine would be a clean bong. Tanaki knows it's like the one thing at our house.
Folded
So-
laundry. All my laundry would be folded and put away. I would never touch my damn laundry again.
somebody else.
Yeah.
Laundry dishes, dude. Dishes. The never ending story.
What would you guys do if you had infinite money?
Well, you just need the butler because I got the idea for the water fountain from Mr. Deeds. So you just need the butler from Mr. Deeds. The dude just pops right up. He's got your shoes, he's got your socks, he's got everything. So you wouldn't have to touch your clothes. They would always be folded.
Oh,
He
yeah.
would clean the bongs. You just need the butler.
But would he fully clean my house top to bottom?
Butler.
I wouldn't put it past him. Just by the way he's portrayed in the movie. I mean, he's a pretty slick son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He probably cleaned the whole house and you wouldn't even realize it was done. You're like, damn, dude, it got way brighter.
Honest.
So Michelle read me this story today at lunch about this guy who broke in to this lady's house. They saw him on the ring cam, everything else like that. And he actually did the laundry, put her laundry out on the line, did his own laundry, cooked himself a couple of meals, drank some wine and stuff, but tidied up the place, like took the trash out, did like all kinds of, you know, chores around the place, and then proceeded to fold her laundry up and leave.
And they were in a note. Don't worry, be happy note.
Yeah, and don't worry, be happy note. Like, I mean, I didn't do anything harsh or anything wrong. Like, so and they arrested the guy a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, it leaves you a little conflicted. Like, can you post bail and have him, you know, for about 5 or 6 hours? Like,
Right. Shit.
Dang. Yeah, no kidding.
So if you're going to rob my house, please clean and do it.
Would you? That does.
I wonder if that's going to
Question.
count for
Would
his
you be
community
mad?
service. Like he's going to have community service hours, so you know, like 2-3 hours there on the front end for cleaning her house. You know,
did her laundry already.
I got you replaced with something that's free.
Oof.
Sorry, love you.
Well, it does raise the question: would you even be mad if you showed up at home and you're like, "Hey, a bunch of my food's missing"? You're like, "I don't remember cleaning all this stuff, though."
Wait,
They
hold on.
noticed us having it, and they were watching it on their security cameras, and they were
Stuck in traffic.
going to the thing, and so the cops actually caught him. Like,
Oh, like
Not even a
live?
couple
So they
of
didn't like see
lives,
this
yeah.
later. They
no,
counted
they
all
caught
live.
it when
Oh,
it was
okay.
happening and like calling the cops, and they have caught him apparently.
oh, so they
Mm.
clearly watched him and could have done something. He's like, oh wait, no, just give him a minute. He's folding laundry.
Yeah, no kidding. Going for an
Like,
hour.
that's a lot
They
of
called the
stuff
cops.
for him to do for them
Yeah.
to finally catch him a couple blocks down the road.
They took it, actually washed it,
Right.
and put it on the line.
I mean, that's a 45-minute wash cycle, and then another like 15 minutes hanging it out there on the line.
And then
Oh,
folding
no,
it
depending
before
Depending
he
on the
left.
day, it could take up to an hour to dry outside.
Yeah.
He was there for he made 2 meals.
Kyle's probably
Damn.
making bets. It's
He
like, you
moved,
think he's
some
gonna?
pots and stuff, like went out to the garden and actually like filled the bird feeders and moved some pots around.
I mean, dude did a day's work.
I mean, they didn't arrest him
fair
until
enough.
he left because they were still betting on if he was about to paint the house and redo the siding. And like every fucking day, they're like, let's see how far he goes. Because if he gets on landscaping, we're letting him go.
For
Like, I
real.
just want to be a homeowner for a couple hours.
I just
Let me
feel
be
what
here.
it feels like. I was thinking about it though. If I was sitting in traffic watching someone live my life in my house, that would probably be a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
It would be a little bit.
like,
actually. Yeah. Like, how do you not just turn on the ring mic and be like, "Hey,
What's in here, pal?
get out! Thank you for doing laundry. Get out!"
I would take it in a totally different bend over.
Start messing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see someone coming over the ring mic and just being like, "You're folding it wrong. That's not how you fold those." Like, holy shit,
The
dude.
maid's outfit is in the closet.
Listen, there's an ironing board and an iron in the closet. Don't put it away wrinkly as shit like that. What's wrong with you, pal?
What's wrong with you?
Were you raised in a barn?
The attic crawler. Yeah, I've heard a couple of different stories like that. People
like my
who
worst
live in
nightmare.
attics for a while before they get caught, and then eventually they do. And there's like they got like peepholes drilled all around the
They
house.
can
And
pay
stuff.
the bills too. How about David here?
Yeah,
David.
David. Amen, dude. Like if you're gonna pay the bills too. He probably will have to. I bet.
I mean, it sounds like a good roommate overall.
Right.
It's like, hey, wait a minute.
People didn't even know they needed a roommate.
Exactly.
But hey, you know that it kind of reminds me of all those squatter stories that I've seen online over the last year or two, and the emerging anti-squatter market that has come into existence.
There is a show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your mom and I were watching that show.
That sounds awesome. I've watched a couple of videos of people it just like an old hairy fat guy in a thong, just like dong dong dong, like get out of my house. You know what I mean? Because you're allowed to be as annoying as you want, but in a lot of these cases, you're not physically allowed to remove someone from your
Right.
house. So, but you can be weird.
He called the cops on him like 14 times. The cop
Oh,
who
yeah.
was sitting
They
outside.
love it.
like-
He's like smoking a huge bong. They're like, "Come on, dude, can you please not do that?" He's like, "This is my house. I can do
Right.
whatever I want."
I'm my
ripping
medicine,
bonds, bro.
You know, yeah, it was pretty great.
That was hilarious.
It's a
That
great
Motel
video.
6 down there on Midland, the 2 separate buildings, 50% of the occupants are squatters.
Wow, really?
They just like
shit.
checked in one day or walked in one day, whether they popped the lock or paid for a room, and then they just don't leave.
Oh, Deb just said that right in chat. He said they got squatters, and that's in town. I did not know we had squatting issues in Billings.
They just had to. The Billings police actually went downtown in that area. There was a huge amount of tents and everything that they've removed from urban camping. So one of the things we're dealing with pretty hard is they call them unhoused or homeless people that have really popped up. And they're being bussed in from a lot of these other places that don't want to deal with them.
One-way
So they
tickets.
give them one-way tickets from California or Oregon or, Idaho, wherever. And they wind up on our doorsteps. We had some friends of ours who worked for the rescue mission and tried to help out with that crisis. But unfortunately, it seems to be compounding more and more each day. So,
Yeah. When the logistics system just can't support that much all at once,
Right.
it's going to fall apart.
Dude, it's
Damn
almost winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter will fucking sort them out for sure.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
yeah, that
I think we're gonna have a wet, heavy one, so that'll do it.
it seems like it.
Hey, we got a couple more people in the chat I haven't seen. Deborah, I don't know if I've said hello to you specifically. Hi, Waylon. It's nice to see you. We've had a ton of new, unique people in the chat this evening. It's lovely to see everyone. Make sure that y'all are dropping a like and sharing with your friends on your way through. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely. Tag your friends down in the chat. That's how it happens. You guys know people that we don't necessarily know. The web spreads out and, we reach more people.
Two Sacks getting his cameo.
Two Socks making a debut.
What's up, buddy? You needed to cuddle time with Tanaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had your buddy come visit you.
He's very happy. So
Oh.
Charlie came to visit.
We've got some extra dogs in the house coming to visit.
Making this old man work.
Yeah. So we've got some news, but before that, I guess we'll have to, I can do the news and then we can talk about the grand rebranding party. So,
That works. Cool.
so we'll run that news video real quick and then we'll be right back with you.
Turn up the lights, let's start the show. Nate's got the scoop you need to know. Cannabis updates fresh and real. Tune in with Nate, it's the big deal. Cannabis news with Nate, let's go. Every story makes you glow. Stay informed, don't be late. Cannabis news with Nate.
Just wait until
Just stand outside, dude.
I'll wait until like
Oh, okay.
Saturday.
I tried, guys.
You
got us. You caught
Okay.
us chatting again. Dang it. What is this, a podcast or something?
All right. Well, it's right back to the news with Nate here. I'm your host, Nate, and greatly appreciate all you tuning in. So New York has a report that they've spent a lot of money to put out. And it actually shows what's going on with the cannabis market out there. And it's pretty amazing that what they've came up with since they've legalized cannabis. 1,342 adult use licenses has been issued in the state of New York since legalization happened.
Wow.
How
long ago was that?
I
Less
believe
than a year.
less than a year ago. And then with retail sales bringing in 653.9 million dollars as of September of 2024. So I think, over the last few months, there's a whole lot of smoking going on out there in New York.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I just want to point out real quick while you're talking about that revenue that New York made. I was talking to a guy that owns a fuck ton of tobacco shops, and he was telling me, he was like, dude, we sell weed out of the tobacco shop without the license, and we'll have a pound or two there, and if they do come through randomly once in a blue moon, they'll seize that one and we just go grab more and bring it in. And
I've heard they've been
he said
having
they'd be
some
making 30 grand a
legislation
day
troubles.
on black market cannabis out of the tobacco shops, and he's got like 2 or 3 of them up there in New York and then one down in North Carolina.
Yeah, so that's, one of the big things that they're dealing with right now is obviously you have the regulated cannabis market, and then there's the black market out there. And a lot of people have been buying from their neighbor or whoever who's been selling to them for the last 19, 20 years or whatever, knows how to grow stuff like that. Same thing that we have to deal with here in Montana, and they've had to deal with in California and other areas. My personal position is that I think government needs to get out of the way and just let the market figure itself out. And so, we call it black market, but realistically at this point, consumers out there want cannabis as a product, and whether that be in a supplemental form, whether that be in a tincture, whether that be in a rub, whether it be in a dab or a smoke or a flower. The consumers out there are rapidly voting with their dollars and telling people, guess what? We want cannabis, and we want it in a large format. not just small little things like Germany. Their legalization happened as of April 1st of 2024. But you're only allowed to possess 25 grams at a time, so just under an ounce.
That goes for home growers as well.
Yeah, and so
rules are silly.
It's really strict, and it's really hard to get it and buy it, apparently. So there's a lot of turmoil going on with the German market.
We've got states here in the U.S. that have the ounce limit. Like, I mean, you can purchase more than that on your medical card, or you can have more than that technically, but you can't have more than an ounce on you at a time, or you can still get in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same runs through in Montana. Technically, you can't have an ounce on your possession, more than an ounce of personal possession at a time.
Real quick. Have a good night, Deborah.
Have a good night. Thank you guys.
Deborah,
so
thanks
much.
for tuning in. Real quickly as well, Pennsylvania, oops moment with cannabis taxes. So Pennsylvania realized that the 280E tax code rule, they were excluding cannabis businesses, and they realized that they probably shouldn't have been excluding cannabis businesses for tax deduction purposes, because they are a legal business structure under the state rules. And so they're offering some sort of tax rebates coming back to cannabis businesses out there. And I know Montana allows you to write off certain items, but they don't allow you to write off all items. So we'll see how this plays out. It may come into play here in Montana as well.
That would be interesting. Yeah. I always love to see how other states are doing it. In Montana, we our legislation is a little bit unique in Montana, so I'll be curious to see how it plays out here.
I believe the move is just like getting a small little landscape supply company on the side, and then the landscape supply company is able to, take the tax write-offs for purchasing the products, and then you just sell the products from your landscape supply company over to your cannabis dispensary, and then you still get your tax write-off.
Okay.
So that's
I'm not saying that's completely legal. You need to check that shit out. I'm just saying I think that's a move.
Cannabis CPAs are becoming more and more of a thing these days for exactly this reason, because as with any new industry, there's going to be tons and tons of speed bumps and waves and who knows, all kinds of loopholes and nonsense that should or shouldn't be there.
When we originally started out in the game, it was hard to even find an electrician that would deal with cannabis.
Right. I bet. They're like, hold on, why do you need 800 amps running to the building?
Right.
Do you remember getting our air conditioner looked at?
Right.
Because literally there were people that refused to give us quotes back.
Dang.
They
That's
come
what
out,
they
they were just like, no, your cannabis facility, screw you, bye.
Like, no, this is a tanning facility.
Well, it's kind of hard when you got a bunch of girls growing, and stinking up the place. It's just like,
Yeah.
So,
factory.
going from that to now having the ability of CPAs, accountants, and all kinds of different professionals joining in. Attorneys, we had Silverman Law Firm on. Obviously, they do a lot with cannabis. So, I think that's awesome to see. And I'm anxious to see where the next 5 to 10 years within the cannabis business goes as we start to get to the deschedule. And hopefully, they're talking rescheduled Schedule 3. I hope we can just get to the point of descheduling it altogether. I truly believe cannabis is a supplement. So,
right, they didn't deschedule alcohol to 3 and be like, yeah, it's only medicinal alcohol over here, and you got to go to the pharmacy to get your Jack Daniels. Like, come on now.
you just had to do that during Prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They actually did. Okay.
Yeah, the pharmacy.
Yeah. So what during Prohibition, what you do is you go to your doctor, and he would give you a prescription for alcohol. You would take it to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist would give you alcohol. And so that's how you got your bourbon, your whiskey, or something. I mean, that's outside of bootlegging and some of the speakeasies and stuff like that.
It seems like it'd been easier to just go get a prescription from your doctor for a fifth right quick than bootlegging or going into the speakeasy and risking getting busted up and stuff. You just go down and be like, yo,
They
doc.
depended on money.
Yeah, some people didn't have the ability to afford to go to a doctor. You got to realize that during that time, 30s, 40s, I mean, even up into the 50s and 60s, not a lot of people actually had financial ability to go get any kind of health care. And it wasn't until like the 70s, 80s, and 90s that they started coming up with that aspect of healthcare. But yeah, North Dakota legalization, little bit in Tango land. They seem to have a lot of voters leaning towards voting yes on legalization over there in North Dakota. And I know that's going to probably impact some of those Montana Highline businesses that have been doing well over there.
There's a few that are just right on that border. And I know they've been enjoying some, let's call it tourism.
Absolutely. And we appreciate all the tourists that come through. You know, the thing about it is I think there's a lot of undecided voters over there in North Dakota. They probably realize that they're probably not going to be able to grow as good of weed in North Dakota as we do in Montana. And so they're going to be reluctant to leave our dispensaries and start their own. We can only hope that's the issue over there. But looks like they might get legalization. Don't know. Pretty undecided.
I'd be curious. I mean, I guess I was up until I was 5, lived in North Dakota. I'm sure some of those lovely blizzards make some hella good hash.
I mean, what
really-
else are they going to do up there?
All it'd really take is a better tax rate. Instead of 24%, if North Dakota had a 10% tax rate, those people in Sydney are now going to go across the state line over to freaking North Dakota and get cheaper weed.
You know, speaking of tax rates, Delaware's license frenzy, over 1,200 applications have been put in the state of Delaware for adult use licenses, primarily because they're a very, very low tax state. They don't get into a whole lot of taxes, stuff like that. So people really want in that market. And there's apparently a lot of people in Delaware really wanting to jump and get their cannabis orders filled.
Dang.
It's not even that big a state, man. Like 1,200 of them.
Delaware, yeah, that's one of those sneaky states that you don't really think about.
Well, it just shows everybody in Delaware smoking weed.
Isn't that where, you know, most of the corporations are registered as well? Like people do a lot of incorporating out of Delaware.
But that's I mean, I don't want to get too into the business nerdiness and stuff, but I think a lot of businesses are actually leaving Delaware now due to the recent Tesla stock block and all of that, and people are going to Texas now. But yes, that makes sense. Delaware, Texas, I'm sure that lots of entrepreneurs are still opening national businesses in both locations. So,
well, hopefully soon they'll be able to get out there and enjoy it. So the last bit of news we got is weed in music. Science finally confirms the obvious, that when you're smoking some doobies, the Doobie Brothers sound a lot better. So they did a pretty good study. Let's see, what was the Cannabis Science and Technology reported that the study basically looked at a lot of different data points and people's enjoyability during smoking sessions, non-smoking sessions. And apparently they found out what everybody knew all along. Smoke some pot, drop the needle on the vinyl, and get
listen to
rocking.
some music, baby.
That's like my favorite pastime. Throwing on my headphones, just disappearing
Just
from the
jamming.
world for a little while. Yeah. Gosh, that's awesome.
Anybody got any favorite songs out there in the chat?
Yeah.
What do you listen to?
What do you like listening to while you're
What's your
stoned?
favorite?
I mean, some Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds from the Beatles. Come on.
Ooh, yes. Very nice.
That's always been a fave.
30 Heads is always nice when smoking up, you know.
So that is the news for this week. CCD is looking at the CBG, I believe, and CBNs that are going into certain products.
Is that to determine whether those are naturally or synthetically derived?
Yeah, I think there's something to do with that. And then I think there has to do with whether they're produced here in Montana or not.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because there is a rule within, I believe, the CCD rules that state all of our products have to be from Montana derived.
So even if you're, I mean, maybe they're not talking about this yet, but even if you're mixing in something like cannabis derived terpenes or I guess cannabis CBN, CBG. So if you're mixing those in later, they want those ingredients from Montana too then.
Yeah, no bringing your nano from California up to Montana and trying to throw it in gummies, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. That's, and again, going back to that black market and stuff like that. I mean, we call it black market, but it's the market, period.
Right, legal market outside of it.
There are people who are trying to deal with the legal rules that the legislature lays down. And I think that's really a huge, important thing that they need to realize is that the black market never goes away. It didn't go away in New York, didn't go away in California, Colorado, or any other place like that. In fact, a lot of times it just got stronger because the regulations got too stringent for the actual controlled operators to do their job and compete at a level. And I mean, I think Tamarack, they talked about it as well. You know, get a little bit of tax relief. Oh, it's time to go, huh?
I mean, there was a big movement in Colorado, at least on the western slope. A lot of people over there, you know, they always used to say that dispensaries were for the tourists to support your local grower, and that was a big thing they said on the western slope over there. And I didn't really, I mean, it was a big saying, but yet I still always went to the dispensary. And then the people that were still saying it, they'd be growing weed, but yet you'd still see them in line at the dispensary. And he's like, okay, so why are we saying, you know,
We have
that
so
they're-
many.
I was like,
homegrowers
you
coming
live here,
to
you're,
dispensaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we appreciate each and every one of them, their stories, and you know the conversation that we get from them. And I think we've had a few of them on the show here, and I know that Vibe is putting on an event with some home growers or something to where you get to
Yeah.
compete against like a taste off or something. So
I think that's in November.
yeah, look forward to hearing that from Elizabeth when she comes popping on next week.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to compete.
oh yeah, Waylon, we get a lot of snow out here, dude. Like a lot, especially up there in the mountains. I think
We
I've seen
get
some
snow?
photos of it. I haven't went up there during those snows, but I've seen people on the Beartooth Pass, and the snow is like 3 times their height. and
That
it
just
forms
happened like last week in Cook City. They got some snow, so yeah, we're definitely probably in for a good winter.
We're in for a hefty one.
Dang,
Settle down.
guys. Well, I don't know about you guys, but
Rebrand.
We got our
Rebrand.
rebrand.
I would like everyone to leave a like, follow, and share. That's what I was gonna say.
To subscribe.
And subscribe.
And subscribe. You can also find all of our episodes if you want to catch up out there on YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, but also at the 406budcast.com. They're all streamed in RSS feed directly for your viewing at any time.
So there's that really awesome party that's going to be taking place down there at Zoo Drive, right?
Yes, 7253 South Frontage Road tomorrow. We have the
Hey, Adam.
grand rebranding party for 406 Organics, the Zoo Drive exit location right across the street from the Honda Power Sports in the Future Homes of America parking lot. You'll see the little white building that has amazing things inside. Going to have some great product giveaways. We're going to have a lot of different bongs. Got a seahorse all-in-one giveaway. We've got pipes. We've got, just an unlimited amount of different giveaways that
You got that
We'd
crazy
spend-
AR too. That crazy AR pipe. Dude.
yeah, that one for sure.
I've
that would
been
be a
looking
great-
for a reason to get that one going, ain't you?
Well, probably not. And yeah, no.
So we also are having a first friend come out who's going to be DJ and then ripen up. And so Loudy Loud from Butte, Montana will be our DJ out
Yeah,
there.
Daniel Michalski.
Hell yeah.
He agreed to come out, and he also is the does a lot of trivia out there in Butte. Does a lot with the Butte community, and he also works at the Peking as the bartender there, and is working with us to make sure that we continue to get that episode in with Jerry Tam over there. Get that episode out to everybody. Looking at some of the history of Butte, Montana, and the cannabis culture and some of the cannabis medicine that was around back in the early days.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, about the event though, Jolene Rides Horse is going to be out there. She's going to be slinging some burritos, going to be slinging some tacos. Mountain Organics, Mo Treats, they're going to be out there. Gina and Adam, they've agreed to come out, and they've got a really good blend. If you come and you purchase from the dispensary, you can come over to their booth. They'll give you a mixed drink made out of one of their shooters, and I'm going to tell you, you are definitely going to want to get two.
Alwaystheshit.com /it rules. It's fucking awesome.
I'm so excited to try them.
So yeah, and gives everybody an opportunity to come out and meet some of the wonderful people. Hannah, Daniel, everybody part of the crew. The Budcast will be out there live. Tanaki will be working the Shepherd store, but we'll try to get her spelled and out there so she can mix it up with all the people out there at the party. So come out to Zoo Drive if you need to grab a burger, a dog, maybe a taco. We'd love to see you.
He'll come down to 406 where the vibe is always right. With the finest green from Montana scene, we'll light up your night. CBD Debates and glassware too, we got it all in store for you. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff will keep you coming back for more. 406 Organics, your one-stop shop delight. With products from the best around, we keep your spirits bright. Our products come from all the names you know about. At 406 Organics, we're always here to help you out. We source the best from all our friends in every corner of the state. From flour to edibles, oils and more, our selection's truly great. Whether you're new or seasoned pro, our team is here to guide. At 406 Organics, we're always by your side.
All right, it's not get you.
Alrighty, and welcome back, folks. Well, I think with that, we are going to wrap it up for the night. Well,
Thanks for
shoot, I don't
stopping
know.
by,
Thank you for
everybody.
stopping by, guys.
You guys
Hope
stay
y'all had a
lifted out
great
there for sure.
evening.
Yeah,
Come
wonder
join
if thanks
us
for all in
tomorrow.
chat.
We want to see you all tomorrow.
Yeah,
Definitely
don't
come
forget
join
to
us.
shop.
And also join us next week for a special giveaway. We will be giving something special away, and we'll talk about that and let everybody know this week. So check out our Facebook page and everything else.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Have a good night and good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.